something that really helps me remember that I'm always supported. And it is the affirmation that the infinite intelligence of the universe supports me on every step of my journey.
Welcome to the Network Marketing Made Simple podcast. I am your host, Scott Aaron, and each and every week I'm going to come to you with short, simple, and powerful tactics of how you can grow your network marketing business, brand, bank account, and impact on those around you. And just remember, network marketing is not easy, but it can be made easy with simple steps to create the success that you truly deserve. Welcome to episode 86 of the Network Marketing Made Simple podcast. And if you are a new listener, then welcome. And if you are a returning listener, then welcome back. And as always, if you are a professional network marketer, business coach, online coach, and you are primarily building your business through the means of Facebook and Instagram, and you have not yet tapped into the amazingness that LinkedIn provides, then head over to my website, www.scottaaron.net. Fill out the form to schedule a free 15-minute coaching session with me where I can learn more about you, your business, and how we can potentially work together. So in my string of incredible interviews, I met this incredible human being on Instagram. We were basically liking each other's stuff. And I always love not only connecting with other podcasters, but with other coaches that are really changing other people's lives that are based upon how they changed their life first. So again, I don't like telling someone's story for them. I want them to do it themselves. With me today is the incredible Dr. Amanda Barrientez. She is a doctor of mindset, habits, and business development. So with that, Dr. Amanda, welcome to today's episode.
Hey there, Scott. Thanks so much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Absolutely. So let's dive right in. A lot of my network may not be familiar with you and your work. So why don't you tell a little bit of the audience about yourself, what you do, and how you came to do it?
All right. Yeah. Well, I am a coach, so I wear a lot of different hats, but as you said, I'm definitely a habits and mindset and business development coach. And I got my start in loving the social sciences. I think I probably was born to be a coach, but didn't really know it until I got a little bit older and had to seek out coaching for myself. So I was in grad school studying sociology, and I was really interested in the way that people work. And I started, I kind of came into that program thinking I was going to study violence against women and girls. And that turned into this process of doing life history interviews with incarcerated men. And as I was going to grad school and learning and expanding my horizons, I had some big downfalls in my own life where I ended up leaving my 15-year marriage through having an affair. And that my ex-husband then lost his job. So here I am in grad school on food stamps to feed my kids. And knowing that I wanted to finish because I knew it was one of those ways that I was going to be able to support myself long term. But I was really struggling in the money world and in relationships. And I thought, well, crap, I am the center of my problems. And so I started listening to podcasts. So that's one of the reasons I absolutely love podcasts, because it's free learning on the go. And it's a way that you can really empower yourself through gaining new information. And so, I'd be riding my bike to school and I'd be listening to podcasts, and I'd be carpooling the kids to school and I'd be listening to podcasts, and I'd be cleaning and listening to podcasts. And in that, I got led into coaches, and I was like, whoa, this is really cool. I love teaching. And I ended up deciding to take a relationship course. And I had such massive transformation, and that I started really kind of shifting the way I was teaching. You know, I had the opportunity to teach over 2,000 students at CU Boulder, and I loved teaching. I won awards, and I was like, how can I combine my love of teaching with coaching and all these new skills I'm learning? And in the sociology world, we talk a lot about social problems, and we teach about a lot of the issues that are going on in society. And I was noticing that my students were really wanting solutions. And so I just really started to piece together this idea that I could be a coach. And so I finished, you know, writing my dissertation, which was incredibly valuable. And I learned so many skills and got to work with some really incredible guys who had, on average, 18 years spent incarcerated, and they were gang involved. And then they were in this recovery program under the Department of Corrections. And I got to start to think about human transformation. And then, of course, on my learning journey, I ran into a whole bunch of other people. And now I have, my main mentor is Dr. John DeMartini, and I'm trained in his method, and I work with people on values and money and mindset. And I've just been able to have this really incredible transformation of myself in the last 2.5 years, which has gotten me really inspired to help other people. Because when you're stuck in that victim mindset, and you think the whole world is against you, and you fear that you're forever going to be there, and then you start to understand that it doesn't have to be that way, and that you can shift, and then I get to see it happen with myself and other people. It's just my greatest joy in life to do that.
I love that. And it's all about serving others. And, you know, obviously you and I first connected because, you know, I had a similar background with some family and some incarceration issues, which my network is very familiar with. When my father was away for 2.5 years, it was a very, very traumatic event for me, but it was life-changing. And I wouldn't be on this podcast today with you if it wasn't for that.
Yeah.
But also I was a victim. I played that card as often as I could because I didn't own my own stuff. And I was quick to put the blame on other people, and because I had a lot of my battles fought for me. But I'm not sure how familiar you are with network marketing, but you know, one of the biggest things, it's probably the biggest thing that really holds network marketers back from being a network marketing professional to a network marketing amateur is their mindset.
Yeah.
Because the 6 inches between your ears is the most amazing or detrimental place that any person can be, because your thoughts will either set you up for success or your thoughts will set you up for failure, depending upon what you're thinking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
So speak to that and to the audience about, you know, obviously there's, and it's so funny because there are no, there's no fancy tricks or shortcuts. It's literally how you ground yourself with your mindset. So talk about how important it was for you to go first, to work on yourself and your mindset first before you were able to help others after.
You know, Scott, for me, it was absolutely everything. And I totally agree with you. It had to do with me being stuck in this mindset that everything was against me. And I had a really serious victim story running where I felt like, you know, why was I born into this family and in this life? And why is everything against me? And why can't I get ahead? And
It's called the "oh woe is me" factor.
Totally. Yes. Yes. And it's like you're in prison, and you're in the prison of your own mind. And because you're creating your reality to be that way. And I really did not know that. I thought, I mean, it was dense, you know, it was thick and dense and heavy. And it was this weight that I carried all the time. And as I started to turn to personal growth and development, I was like, holy moly, you can really change your life pretty rapidly through shifting the way that you think about the world. And, you know, I really love the quote that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. So if you're not liking what you see on the outside, you need to change the inside. And that really led me to thinking about how your mindset is just a habitual way of thinking. And I had really trained my brain to think on the negative. And in a lot of ways, that's a survival mode way of thinking, right? We're going, oh, there's threat, there's danger. I'm going to see and track for all of the negative to make sure I'm safe, to make sure I can make it through. And I had kind of this constant fear-based mentality running. And what that did was keep me stuck. It kept me in self-doubt. It kept me focusing on the negative, and what you focus on expands. So when you're focusing on the negative, you get more negative. And it's not that I think we live in a world where, oh, I'm trying to seek this happiness and all one-sided positivity. I think that's BS. That doesn't exist. But it's about what you do with what you have coming in, and it's about how you set yourself to be empowered each and every day. And so I really shifted out of this mindset and a really habitual way of thinking toward training my brain toward thinking in an empowered way.
Mm.
And I call it the victim to victor mindset, and I don't know if, are you allowed to swear on your podcast? I'm not sure.
Go for it.
Okay, because my company's name is NFA Coaching, which stands for no fucking around.
Well, it's all adults that listen to my podcast anyway. So
okay, awesome.
If there's a curse word here and there, they're not going to be like, oh my God. It's just we're all adults here. So go ahead, you can adult all you want.
Awesome. Yeah, and I figure, for me, I go, it's pretty. It was a bold move to put the F bomb in my company name, but I really love it because when I work with clients, I talk to them about having an NFA mindset, which is where you take radical responsibility for your reality. And that is the way you have the most power. And that is where you really get to create the life and business of your dreams. And I totally agree with you, in the network marketing world and coaching world, anywhere where you're building your own business from the ground up, it can be scary. And you've got to overcome yourself to become exactly who you want to become. And if you don't have a grasp on your mindset and you don't take command of it to set it up for yourself to have automatic ways of thinking that set you up for success, you're probably going to really struggle. And so that is always the first place that I work on myself daily and with my clients, because, like you said, it's the ground, it's the foundation to build everything else upon.
Why do you think it's so hard for people to break that victim mentality? And they're so, I call it the yeah buts, yeah, but you don't understand. Yeah, but I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, but I have kids. Yeah, but I have a family. Yeah, but I'm busy.
Yeah, that's a great question. And you're right. I think that most people, I think there's a few things operating. One is that it's very easy to get stuck in comfort zone. So you get stuck in this place of thinking, oh, I'll just skate by and I will live my life this way because it's easier. And we are beings who like to live by the pleasure pain principle, right? We want more pleasure than pain, and we are very short-sighted. So if we see more pleasure in the moment, we're not going to offset the pleasure to have pleasure in the future because we'll think it's painful in the present. And so you really have to set yourself up and decide, what do I want to create in my long-term vision? Because all of those excuses and justifications are just you playing small and staying stuck in your comfort zone, and you'll never get what you want. So you really got to make that decision. It was something I really noticed interviewing incarcerated men, and they were in this program, and they had to work really hard to get into this program because it was their way out of prison. And they were selected based on the fact that they were willing and ready and committed. And so, for all of your listeners, if you're in that excuse zone, you have to be the one to decide. No one's going to do it for you. You've got to be the one to decide that you want a different outcome, and you have the power to change. And because, it's like, what do we think? Mommy's going to come and get us up in the morning and say, hey, you want a better life? I'm going to help you and walk you through it. No, you've got to be the one to decide. So for me, I had this moment where I was laying on the floor crying about my relationships and poverty, and I was afraid I didn't know where I was going to live and all these things. And I had this critical moment where I said, I am willing to do whatever it takes to have a long-term connected relationship. And that led me into the world of coaching. And it was such a powerful moment because it was really like, for me, I was so tired of getting the same results and feeling disconnected and unhappy. And I had that moment of, it's up to me. I've got to be the one.
Brilliant content. And I don't think there's anyone that's going to listen to this that isn't going to madly write down notes or just listen to this over and over again, because you said one word that I probably need to get a tattoo of it or something. that I literally always talk about on my social media, and it's called commit.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And I love that word because between you and me, the one thing that is really setting the successful from the non-successful is the successful ones committed to their goal, whether it worked or failed, and then they learned how to get better. But if you never commit to anything, whether that's committing to yourself, committing to your relationship, your kids, your life, your passion, whatever it is, without commitment, there is no action.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I took people through an exercise, when I did a Facebook Live where I talked about the 3-step process to creating success. Step 1, getting crystal clear with your why. Why are you doing? Just don't tell me what you're doing. Why are you doing it? What is the purpose behind your why?
Mm-hmm.
Once you know your crystal clear why, make a commitment and a declaration to yourself that you are committing to that why. Once you commit to it, number 3, and this is what makes the ship go, is taking massive action on the commitment to your why.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah.
get it. The scariest place for an entrepreneur to be is in this place where, well, I know I have to commit to make something happen, but what's the easiest thing to do? To not do anything so you can refacilitate old feelings of being a failure, where you can then complain to the oh, woe is meers about the oh, woe is me that you still have. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So for my listeners, Dr. Amanda, for the oh, woe is meers and the people that are just, complaining just to complain, and they're not happy with where they are and they know they need to do something different. What is one simple thing after listening to this episode that they can do to move themselves forward in the right direction?
Wow, one simple thing. That's a really great question. Um, I think that there has to be burning desire to commit. If you're really at that moment where you're like saying you want something, so for everyone listening, let's say you're like, I really want to build a successful business. It sounds like most of your listeners are business builders of some sort.
Yes.
So let's say you really want to build a business. Write down why. I love that you're saying why and purpose, because I always start there too. If you don't have a burning desire to create it and you're saying you want something, but you don't see those results, you're lying to yourself. So just first admit that you're lying to yourself. Because if you really are driven and you have a vision, you will get up every day inspired. I get up every morning and I ask myself, what are the 3 to 5 highest priority action steps I can take to fulfill my vision? And that is so powerful. But if I don't even have a vision, that's not going to work. So you've got to know your why, you've got to know your vision, and you've got to get serious with yourself and be honest if that's what you really want. Why do you want it? And then just get up and take committed daily action. If you get up every morning and you write down 3 to 5 things, 3 to 5 high priority action steps, and you fulfill those, think about where you'll be 1 year from today. You'll be looking back 1 year from today and you'll go, wow, I created all of this. I took strategic, consistent action, and you can do so much in a year. People underestimate how much you can do in a year. I have changed my life so dramatically in 2.5 years. I cannot wait to see where I am in a year from now.
This is my whole point, Amanda, that everyone thinks that change and these moments in life, the sky opens up, this beam of light grabs you and pulls you into the heavens, and it's just so funny because I preach this stuff all the time on social media, and even all the guests I have come on here, we all say the same thing. It's taking simple things, simple steps.
Yeah.
Taking action, committing to your goals, understanding your why, getting out of your own way, getting out of your head and into your heart. So everyone makes it seem like that success is this really difficult thing to get and to create.
Uh-huh.
When each one of us possesses the same potential power to achieve and live the best life possible if we want to. And just like you said, I'm a big believer that Actions speak louder than words.
Absolutely.
And as a coach, you've heard this from your clients too. They tell you what they want, they tell you how bad it is, and then when you follow up, what actions did you take to make that happen?
Yeah.
And then what happens? Woo, woo, the excuse train rolls up. Well, I was just really busy and this happened and that happened.
Yeah.
You and I both know that when something is important to someone, you make the time for it.
Yep.
No matter how, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. You hear that all the time. If something is that important to you, you will make the time for it. So, as we come to close, what would you say was the biggest obstacle? And again, you shared a lot of your story, but if you had to put your thumb on the greatest obstacle that you had to overcome, that was the springboard to get you to where you are now, what would you say that one thing is?
My own mind by far. It's easy for me to say that it was my own self-doubt and beating myself up and holding myself back with limited thinking.
Mm. And again, we're going to come back to it again. It's that 6 inches between our ears that really separates us from being successful and being unsuccessful. So any final thoughts before we close out today's episode that you want to leave with the audience?
I think that the final thought would be, if you're on the fence and you're daydreaming about having something that you keep saying that you want, or even let's say that you're starting to take consistent action, don't doubt yourself. Keep taking consistent action. Small daily action steps lead to massive results. Recognize those. Look back every week and go, look at what I accomplished. How many people did I serve? Who am I helping? And how is it advancing my vision? I think it's so important for us to just remember that it's those small daily actions. If you're on the fence right now, take one small step. One small step. It's like if you're going, okay, I need to make 3 phone calls. Make those 3 phone calls right now. If you need to start, build a website, find your domain name right now. Don't hesitate. It's just start taking action, and then you'll develop a confidence loop because you'll believe in yourself. You take the action, and then you start to overcome your fear. You start to believe in yourself. And then this loop gets created where you want to take more action. And then it's this upward spiral of growth. And in a year from now, if you listen to this podcast and mark it on your calendar and look back a year from now, you will be absolutely shocked about how much you can achieve if you just take those small daily actions that help you limit your self-doubt and build the life you want. And you can massively just overcome and transform yourself. It's mind-blowing to me how we hold ourselves back. And it really is through taking consistent daily action.
I say it all the time, simple steps and simple things lead to massive results and action. So that is brilliant. You are brilliant. This entire episode has been epic, and I cannot wait for people to get their hands on this. So, Dr. Amanda, before we sign off, how can people get in touch with you via social media, or is there a website where people can be directed to learn more about you and how you can help them?
Yes, it's the easiest way to find me is all of my social media handles are NFA Coaching. So it stands for No Fucking Around Coaching. So NFA Coaching, that's on Instagram. I love being there. I've got a lot of good articles on LinkedIn. So NFA Coaching on LinkedIn. If you go to nfacoaching.com, I've got a whole bunch of freebies. I've got videos. I've got online courses for developing your money habits. I've got group coaching. I've got all kinds of good stuff. So you can find all of that at my website, nfacoaching.com, and on social media.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Amanda, for being here today. This was just such a pleasure and an honor to have you here. So thank you again.
Thank you. It was a joy.
So everyone, please enjoy the rest of your day. And again, follow Dr. Amanda, NFA Coaching, anywhere and everywhere on social media, and obviously nfacoaching.com. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you again so much for checking out this week's episode. And if you can, head over to iTunes, search for Network Marketing Made Simple, leave me a 5-star rating, basic review. I would be grateful for all of the support you guys can give me. And again, if you'd be interested in learning more how to utilize LinkedIn to grow your business, your brand, and your bank account, head over to my website, www.scottaaron.net. Fill out the form for your free 15-minute discovery call so I can learn more about you, your business, and how we can work together. And again, thank you guys so much. Grateful for you all, and I'll see you next time.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.